Welcome to Laugh and Learn for April. We are kicking off the month with our Who's Who in Social Media featuring Erin Sell of Socially Powered. Erin, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm a little under the weather, but I'm good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a bit busy too because you've got a lot of stuff going on already in April, right?
Yes. Yeah. April is a crazy busy month. And it doesn't help that I'm gone for 10 days of the month.
That'll be a nice catch up for you at the end, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of it I'll be working while I'm not here. That's the beauty of this business.
It is. We're all kind of digital nomads.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, Erin, I always have like to do a little intro of the BLAB. Who's who in social media? I like to grab people who I feel like are making some impact, making some waves in social media. And I appreciate you being on this show today. And I want to preface this too. Sidebar activity. Let's bring it. You guys, if you have a question, all you got to do is type /Q, do a space, and then your question, and we'll get that answered by Erin. I've got questions for her, I know. And then at the end, hopefully we'll be able to open a seat and let you guys in. So we'll be interacting and doing all that stuff. If you guys would take a moment, you can see there's some blue stuff in the sidebar. That's because people are sharing this BLAB out. So if you guys would tweet it out, all you got to do is go to the left over here, click the tweet or the post button for Twitter and Facebook respectively. Get this thing out and let's get some people watching this because Erin's up for some curiosity about herself. We're going to learn about her today.
Yay!
Yeah, she's like, that's awesome. Erin, so give us a little information. I mean, it can be kind of your elevator pitch expanded, but talk to us about you and what you do in social media.
Okay. So I am Erin Sell with Socially Powered. I help business owners power up their online presence. And excuse me. So I help them do that through either social media management that I do for you or coaching, training, consulting strategy, which is really more towards what I prefer to be doing is teaching other people how to do their own social media. Because one of the things that I talk about a lot and is that you really need to make sure that you are being social and being authentic on social media. And I can try to do that for you, but it's not necessarily an easy thing to be the voice of your business. So it's important for the business owner to be involved.
Agreed. I think that's fantastic. I think you kind of speak the language and speak the mind of anyone who does work in social media that we do a kick-ass job, but there's no one who can quite be you as well as you. And so training people how to do it themselves is an awesome mission. So I'm so glad you're out there doing that because we need more people doing that well, right?
Yeah.
Which leads me to I'll let you define this. How do we know each other? We're part of another group, aren't we?
We sure are. And I see some of our fellow social sisters are on this BLAB as well.
Right.
So Rachel and I met, and I can't even remember when you came into the group, Rachel.
I think it was fall because it was after Denver Startup Week, which was in September-ish, I think.
Yes. So Rachel and I are part of the group called the Colorado Women in Social Media. And yes, there's a few of us on here. Social Media Melody, Michelle. Who else is on? I think that might be it for right now. But I was super excited when Rachel came into the group. I love Rachel and love her energy. And we have actually done some training together on live video because we both are huge fans of live video. Yeah, that's right. She did stalk us.
Hey, and by the way, if anyone cares to know, if you ever want to get in with a tribe, tweet at them. I tweeted at you guys. I was like, hey, I want to be part of you guys. Let me tweet at you. And I was persistent.
And it worked.
I tried. But yeah, how long now? Colorado Women in Social Media. Are you a founding member?
I sure am. Yes.
Really? How long has that been going on?
So Melody, social media Melody over here, she founded it in, I believe it was either November. Okay, that's November or December 2014, and I don't think I was at the November meeting, but I joined at the December meeting. So I have missed one meeting. Well, I might have missed more meetings, but
well, we're human.
Yeah. I typically
that's right. And what really drew me to you, and this will be kind of like the last time I talk other than asking questions, because I really do want to delve into you. One of the things that drew me to the group was you being a founder. You guys each were obviously knowledgeable about social media. And the panel itself was called Become an Influencer, which we all want to be influential. And so, but it was great to see you guys on there and hear you expound on what would make people do social media well and what you knew and the best practices. So, and that translates, it sounds like, directly from what you do for businesses. So it was a good panel and a good fit that you gave.
Yeah. Yeah, that panel was amazing. And, like, it's funny. One of the things that really sticks out in my mind about that panel and what we were discussing was the fact that it doesn't matter what level you're being an influencer. You, no matter what, you are influencing somebody. And one of the things that I have been, I guess, I feel like it keeps coming up on like just over and over, like in the past like week or so, is that you never know who's watching you online. And I have talked to multiple people that are like you're talking to somebody and they say, oh, well, I saw you on such and such, or, oh, I love what you're doing on all your videos. But those are people that they don't ever like, they don't ever comment, they don't ever share it, they don't ever do anything, but they see what you're doing. And you never know what you're putting out there, how people are like responding to it. And you never know when you're going to say that right thing that actually makes that connection with somebody and ends up having them, take action that they maybe wouldn't have before. So one of the things that I talk about, thanks, Melody. That's sweet. One of the things that I talk about is that, you need to be constantly putting yourself out there because you never know who is watching. And honestly, like in the past week, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 98% sure that I actually got a client, and I believe that it's through BLAB because we were not connected on Twitter. We weren't connected on Facebook. I know that this person saw me somewhere. And he actually referred his employee to reach out to me. And, it's a huge potential client for me and like potential partnership. And so you never know like what you're putting out there it could come back to you in return.
I think that's thank you for sharing that. It's fantastic because, particularly with BLAB, I mean, we could be in this BLAB, just the two of us, and you see people kind of skate in and out. But then maybe you save the video and upload it to YouTube or save it on your website and stuff. And you do get the lurkers. You get the people who are just like, I just want to learn more. I may not comment. I may not even reply or share it out, but I'm watching and learning about you. So that is such a huge testimony you just gave to say, you're just putting yourself out there. You're being social. And that's such a fundamental marketing strategy to say, somebody's watching me, so I should put out there and just let them watch and learn and come to me when they need help, which sounds like they did, which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It was pretty cool to, basically take that online, video and see it move into like the potential of a new business for me.
Exactly. That's so great. Yeah. So let's learn about you a little bit. So you do put yourself out there. We're going to put more of you out there in a totally appropriate way because, again, this is professional BLAB. There is only one Erin Sell in the world, right? There's only one you. Can you talk about what makes you unique and what you uniquely bring to social media for yourself or your clients?
So I'm going to have to go with somewhat of what Melody said in the comments, because I do think that I truly bring an energy and an enthusiasm to social media, and to life in general. I'm most definitely a person. I love connecting with people. I love being social. And I think this kind of goes into some of your other questions, Rachel, but I have always been an extremely social person. I'm going to tell this funny story because it's one of the things that, like when I was first trying to figure out what I was doing and why I was doing it and all of that, this, for whatever reason, always comes up in my head. So I have been so social for so long that in kindergarten, I was actually put in a corner behind like a wall. Like I had like this thing around me because I talked too much. And so I had to be separated from the rest of the class. I mean, this wasn't like every single day, but I had to go back in that spot a lot. And then further on down the line, I was always a very good student, like never got in trouble, got, good grades, all that good stuff. But I've always been, like Melody said, I've always been very extroverted. So in high school, I actually got sent to the principal's office, which was not like totally not like me. But part of it was that I was not challenged. Like it was in a math class that I had like 103% in or something stupid. So I was just like talking with other people. Like all of us had finished our homework and done, done whatever we were supposed to do because it was easy for us. We weren't being challenged. So we're all just sitting there talking. And so then we all got in trouble and got sent to the principal's office. So this is how it's been my whole life. So social media just really makes sense for me.
It definitely does. And and let's be fair. I think there could have been way worse reasons you were sent to the principal's office. Yes. If it had to be anything, it's like, this is okay. It's going to be fine.
Yeah. I don't even think we got in trouble. I think they just sent us down there so that we weren't distracting the rest of the class. Yeah.
Oh, and Melody makes a good point. You can talk as much as you want on BLAB and Twitter and Periscope. That's it. Just put it out there. Snapchat. That's right. Endless stories, endless snaps of stories.
Yes. And Rachel and I both love to do all of those.
Love them. We're so out there. Like we're out there. What this brings me to, this actually segues nicely into my next question. What is your favorite platform?
Oh,
I know. I'm sorry.
That is such a hard question. So, what is my favorite platform? I for me right now, today, can I pick two?
Yes, you can pick two. We're allowed.
Because I was gonna, it would be a toss up between BLAB and Snapchat.
Now talk about why do you like them so much? And you can talk about each being, they are different. So you can talk about like maybe the one thing that just, oh God, I love this part about this platform.
So for BLAB, since we're on BLAB, let's talk about BLAB first.
Let's do it.
And BLAB was actually my first love before I really got introduced to Snapchat. And I've been on Snapchat a lot longer than BLAB. Okay, so BLAB, one of the things that I really like about BLAB is that you have access to all kinds of people. It's super easy to, depending on the BLAB, but it's really easy to jump in with like influencers on a BLAB, ask questions. I'm trying to think of, for me, I've been on BLABs with, say, like Michael Stelzner of Social Media Examiner. I've been on BLABs with the VP of BLAB, Sean. So I feel like you have access, like it's more of an accessible platform to people that you wouldn't necessarily have access to. And I used to say that about Twitter. Right. And I still feel that way about Twitter. I just, I really like the live video interaction and I feel like you get to have a really good conversation, and it's almost like we're sitting down together, Rachel, versus being online together.
Right. So, and we actually physically are not that far from each other anyway, but yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
2 seats.
Exactly. So then Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been on Snapchat for a while.
Yes.
And I was not using it really. I was basically using it for, people would send me snaps and I was looking at it like maybe once a week. I just wasn't interested in it. And I'd get snaps, I'd get notifications. I would maybe go in and look at it every now and then. But
right.
Something changed and I'm not exactly sure like how to pinpoint it.
Yeah.
If it was you, Rachel, if it was Joel Com, if it was the stories that are being told on there, but basically people encouraged me to get on to give it another shot. And I'm now in love with it and I can't get enough of it. It is basically, it's like the first thing I do when I wake up. It's the last thing I do before bed. I love the interaction, the engagement. I mean, I haven't looked today, but I mean, this morning, I think I connected with like 15 new people. And
that's right.
And I basically every time, so for me, what I do every time I get a connection request, and I'm sure at some point I'm going to not be able to do this, but for right now, I go and do a video hello to everybody that connects with me. And the engagement that I get from that, I mean, it starts a conversation. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Right. No, I agree. And I know we've got a couple people too in the sidebar who not converts. That's okay. Obviously, we just talked about the background of that. And we've all, I think, actually, Erin, you just did a blog on why you love Snapchat. And I don't know if you want to grab the link, you can share it in the sidebar while I pontificate for a minute. But yeah, it really has, and particularly with the update that just came out within the last 2 weeks. So they really rolled out that. Now, to be clear, it's a messaging platform. It's not necessarily a broadcasting platform. You can do live video in there, but primarily it's for messaging and creating a little 10-second or up to 10-second story. But just what Erin said, I mean, you are developing relationships with people from across the planet because you're having private snaps with them, and there's no reward to that. It's just the value of the relationship. And I think that's probably what has drawn a lot of people to realizing that's great. There's no payoff here other than the fact that I'm learning and getting to know a new person. So I know that's been big for me, and it sounds like that's kind of what you've seen on there too.
It's actually, I have talked to some people that potentially we could even like partner or work together. Because like one of the people that I've been chatting with is a content writer. And so, I don't know that, I mean, at this point I haven't got any business per se from Snapchat.
Right.
But like I said, I may, have found a potential partner, which I think is cool. And, I think at some point, I'll probably get some business from Snapchat,
Right. But for right now too, I mean, it's putting yourself out there. You can repurpose it. You can download it, download your stories. I know I've actually repurposed it where I've grabbed, maybe I did a little, quick blurb about myself or something. And I thought, well, that's got some staying power. Download it. It's under 10 seconds, so I can put it on Instagram where, it can belong there.
Well, but now Insta, can't you do 60 seconds on Insta?
Yes, you can do 60 seconds on Insta. Hi, Diana. Thank you for joining us. That's awesome. Yes, so all of that to say, so it sounds like BLAB and Snapchat are kind of duking it out a little bit in your favorite brain. Yeah. But they each have their own approach and audience, so that's allowed. So you're allowed to have two favorites. Totally cool.
Thank you.
Well, let's go back a little bit. Let's look back to your past and what got you. And I think you've shared this story with me before, but what got you into social media itself? Like, what was the segue in your life to get you into that?
So, I mean, I've always been somewhat of an early adopter as far as technology. And, I was on I was on MySpace back in the day. I was on Facebook pretty early on, and I can't remember when it got released. I mean, I was not in college then. So whenever it got released, you know, so that everybody could be on and you didn't have to have a college email, I feel like I jumped on pretty shortly after. And just was always, you know, active and wanting to learn that stuff.
Right.
So my background is, you know, I have my undergrads in marketing. I have an MBA in marketing.
Nice.
So I've always been, you know, marketing focused and, you know, on that, I guess, that track.
Yeah.
But I somehow ended up in corporate America and ended up in like a customer service / basically, when I left there, I was like a high-level account manager, and somehow got stuck in corporate America for entirely too long. I never really expected to be there for as long as I was doing what I was doing.
Right.
And so for me, what really happened was I was fed up. I was sick of my job, and I had some stuff go on in my life. I lost some people that were really close to me. And basically, when something like that happens in your life, for a lot of people, it causes you to rethink, like, do I want, like, all I could see in my head was me in like 30 years from now being like fat and miserable in a job I hated.
Right. Right.
And I just really, I didn't want that to happen to me. And so I took a leap of faith, and I quit my job, and I took somewhat of a sabbatical, and I spent 6 weeks in Europe trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life.
Right.
I had never been to Europe, and it was just something I wanted to do. And I went by myself and came back and went, oh crap, what am I going to do now? I need to make money. I need a job. And so originally I was going to try and work with a friend of mine. And that went on for a few months. And I was actually, when I started that, I had been doing for Hit That Business, I had been doing his social. And then basically what it boils down to is I actually, I started doing social for a nonprofit that I volunteer for Pancreatic Cancer Action Network. So I started doing that after I lost my stepdad. And so I had been doing their social for about 1.5 years at that time. And it was brought to my attention like, hey, you're already doing this for a business, for a company. Why not do this for other businesses? So many business owners have no idea what they're doing with their social media. And they need help. And they don't have the time or the energy or the desire to want to learn how to do it themselves. So Socially Powered was born.
Socially Powered was, I love that. It was born. It's very existential. That's so great too. I mean, I think a lot of us could speak to that too, whether we got into social media for a business or got into our own business. The stars aligned, you know, it was like whatever it was, we found that we wanted to go that direction, and then that need opened where we could fulfill it with the direction we're going. And that worked out for you. And I think that's fantastic. So Socially Powered, how many years have you been in business?
It will be 2 next month.
Wow, that's so awesome. Are you having a party?
I should.
Party?
I know, I should. And you know, I never did anything for year 1. So I should do that for year 2. That would be fun.
We should. We'll try to, maybe we'll focus on that offline, and we get our group to be like, let's all celebrate those little birthdays. Party. That's right. Yeah. Because that would be fun. Great idea. Accomplishment. Well, speaking of, these are all segueing. Speaking of stars aligning, these are segueing nicely into the next question. So,
and I did not plan this.
I know. And I know you saw the questions, but still, it's just being organic.
I read them and I was like, I like glanced at them, but I was like, I want this to just flow the way it flows. And I'll figure out my answers as we go along.
Yes. So in your day, what is a thing that would happen that would make you go, wahoo! Just jump around, do a dance, go on Snapchat and freak out. What's a wahoo moment for you?
I mean, I feel like I have a lot of those moments. Typically, it's like, for me, it's when I come up with a good idea for either myself or for a client. So like, I've been like the whole point, and I know there's a question about Snapchat, and I'm going back to Snapchat a little bit, but so when I got like reacquainted with Snapchat and decided to really dig into it, I love it when I have a good story.
Yeah.
Like the other day, I downloaded it, and I don't know if I've got it somewhere, but the story I did on multiple streams of income, like I loved that story.
Yeah.
And it's fun when you do, you know, something good.
Yeah.
That you're like super proud of.
That's awesome. And then, so let's take a moment then and answer Ross's question. He's asking, what do you like seeing from others when you watch snaps, and what do people do on Snapchat that you wish they would stop?
Oh, yeah. I have answers for this, as I'm sure you do as well, Rachel.
That you do.
Okay. So what I like seeing from others is a story. I want it to be interesting. I want it to be creative. I don't want it to be boring. I don't want it to be the same image over and over again. I want you to mix it up. I want you to not just do like a whole bunch of pictures in a row or a whole bunch of videos in a row, or, you know, mix it up. Take a picture, write a caption, add some emojis, you know, do a plain background with text. I don't necessarily want to see, I mean, and I do it like yesterday I had a picture of Dugan, but we were out on a walk, and like I did a little video, and then it cut me short, so I didn't get to say Dugan. Right. So I took a picture and wrote Dugan on there, you know, so it was like, it fit with what I was doing. My big like no on Snapchat is the horizontal. Yeah. I don't want to have to turn my phone and see a different angle. I want it up and down. If you're going to do that, then I think you need to like tell everybody that that's what you're doing. And flip your phone. But it's still annoying. I want everybody to just do vertical.
No, I totally agree. Vertical videos here, guys. I know I'm repeating myself from the sidebar, but it is. I mean, and I you know, hate that. I'm like, no, it's not a lazy thing. It's just, that's a user experience. Think about it. You know, we want to experience your snaps. Keep it vertical. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I pretty much like swipe down if somebody goes vertical. I'm like, or horizontal.
Yeah.
I'm like,
no going horizontal. Yes. No, that's really good. Thank you for those insights, because I think those are all valid points for, if you are doing Snapchat, how to make it work, and how to entice your audiences and followers to engage with you and all.
Well, and I would also add, there is the engagement. Snapchat really, really, I feel like is one of the highest level engagement platforms. So I've actually been tasked to kind of chart what I'm doing and how how it's responding on Snapchat. So my numbers are somewhere around, like, I probably have around 240 to 250 followers, I think, which is not a big number by any means. But on average, I'm getting around 80 to 95 views on every snap that I put out there. That's great. So think about that engagement versus what you get on Facebook, which is like 1 to 2%. Right. So I'm getting almost 50%.
Right. Yes. And that's so valid, because, you know, what's the payoff, whatever. It's like, well, obviously there's some payoff, because that's, again, you getting out there, you don't know where that could lead and what people are seeing, what's that reinforcing for them to possibly approach you for other stuff. So that's awesome insight. Awesome. Yeah. So,
well, and I get great feedback too.
Yeah.
You know, people are responding to the stories and, you know, sending chats, and it's starting conversation. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. We're going to flip the coin now. What drives you crazy? What is the thing that would happen in your day that you'd be like, I'm going to throw something out the window and be all upset?
For me, it's when a client asks you for something last minute. So, for example, oh, hey, we've got this event coming up and it's tomorrow. Can you go ahead and post about this? Like, dude, you knew about this for weeks. Why didn't you tell me this 2 weeks ago?
Right.
Like you asking me today.
Help me help you, man. Come on.
Right. So that would be my biggest frustration.
Totally. Yeah. All right. Well, so we put the ick aside. So can you talk about in your life, has there been anyone that you kind of idolized or someone really influential that's really helped you step up, that's been an important factor in getting you where you are today?
Oh, there's a few people I feel like are that. What just happened there? Did you hear that?
No. What was it? Thunder?
I don't know. It was just like echoey or whatever.
No,
but it's fine. Yeah. Okay. I'm not hearing things. Melody said she heard it too. So I would say Andrea Ball and Phyllis Kerr, most definitely. I'm a part of their social media manager school, and just being a part of that group and having that interaction with them, that support from them,
nice,
has been amazing. And I mean, I wouldn't say that necessarily like Andrea and Phyllis have boosted me up, but just seeing them and knowing that I have access to them. I mean, at any time of any day, I can go post in this private group that we've got and ask any question that I have. And on top of that, I can also send either one of them a private message and they would get back to me. So they have been awesome to me. I also have to call out Joel Calm here because he has really been helping me with like the Snapchat stuff, video stuff. So those would be, I mean, but there's so many more on social media that I've definitely learned from and grown with. Yeah.
Do you think you're going to meet some more inspiration when you go to Social Media Marketing World this month?
I cannot even tell you how excited I am to go. It is less than 2 weeks away now. I leave next Friday.
Oh my gosh.
It starts on Sunday, but I'll be staying at the hotel starting on Saturday.
Nice.
And hanging out with all those people because a lot of people are coming in early. So it'll be fun. I feel like I'm in a lot different place than I was last year at this time. Last year when I went, I was maybe just a little bit starstruck by some of them.
Sure. And
this year I feel like I'm on their level almost.
Yeah.
I mean, awesome. I'm not them. Like I'm not speaking there, but you know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm just in a different space than I was last year.
Well, speaking of space, don't you have something special going on Snapchat when you're there? Or are you going to be
It's a secret.
Then we'll watch your stories and we'll know.
You're going to have to watch my Snap stories when I'm at Social Media Marketing World. First off, I'm sure they're going to be amazing because think about I'm going to be hanging out with the cream of the crop in social media.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. And you never I feel like, and maybe I've only been once, so I shouldn't say this, but I feel like something big always comes out during that time. So last year at Social Media Marketing World, everybody was all the rage about Meerkat.
Oh boy.
And Meerkat's dead, in case anybody was wondering. Meerkat died a slow death the day that Periscope came out, which Periscope was announced on, I believe it was Friday at Social Media Marketing World. And it was, basically like nobody was on Meerkat from that day forward. Everybody was on Periscope.
Yep.
So I'm wondering, I feel like something big has to come from Social Media Marketing World as far as, I don't know.
No, I think that'll be, well, and again, we'll watch you on Snap. I just shared, you have your Twitter link there. You guys, her Snap code is her Twitter avatar. So hold your phone up to it with Snapchat. It'll scan it right in and you can follow and add Erin and she will reveal what all is going on.
Yeah, it's social media marketing world's going to be fun, and there will be a surprise on one of those days. So
yes.
tune in.
So let's talk a little more about how you got where you are. Is there anything that, let me read my question. Anything you would have done differently to get where you are now that you wish you had done but didn't quite do? Anything you would have changed?
That's a good question. I think for me, because one of the things, and this is in general, is, and I mean, I could say the same thing today, is not to listen to too many people. I still do it to myself all the time. I love learning and I love training, and I like, finding out what others have to say and seeing it, if I agree, if I don't agree. So one of the things that I would definitely do is try to find one person to focus on and learn from, and then, go from there. So like I said, I mean, when I first started, I actually started with Social Media Marketing University. And it's great because it introduced me to some people like Vivica Von Rosen, who I probably wouldn't have known, but she did the LinkedIn training. Right. And, I met Viv, it's been a couple years ago now, but so I probably wouldn't have known her, but then I ended up finding Andrea and Phyllis, and now they're really the ones that I go to for all of my social media training.
Nice.
Besides the fact that I'm also a part of a mastermind, and Nadia Melton is one of my coaches in that mastermind. And let me just tell you that her and John, her husband, kill it on social media. Nice. And the tips and tricks that I get from them are amazing. Yeah. So if you don't know who they are, I would highly recommend following them. They give away so much free information.
Oh, nice.
But they, you think stuff about social media, and then you hear something from them and you're like, duh, how did I not know that? So I will say, definitely focus on at least just narrow your focus and don't try to learn everything all at once.
Right. Very cool. Yeah. And then is there anything that you are completely glad that you did that helped get you where you are today?
Hiring an admin. Hi, Nikki. I love you with my whole heart. I wish that I would have done it sooner. I mean, everybody kept talking about it. And I mean, Nikki is a godsend.
Oh, that's so awesome. Oh, Nikki, I hope you're feeling the love. Feel it. That's so cool. Well, cool.
So hire early.
Yes. Yeah. Don't wait too long. You need to, it's clone, lots of clones.
I say that all the time. You would clone yourself, Nikki.
I say that all the time. I'm like, whoever can, if I could invent cloning, I wouldn't need to work because I had invented cloning. Hello. But yeah, I feel you. I feel the pain. All right. It's fun question time. And then if you guys hang on a little bit, we'll open a seat and you guys can hop in and ask Erin questions. Again, she's shared a lot of stuff, so she has some knowledge to drop if you have a specific question, so get ready. But for a little fun, if a movie were made about your life, Erin, who would you want to play you and why? Now, they don't have to look like you, but it'd have to be someone who you think would really play your character well. Who would you pick?
That's a great question.
I love this question.
This is tough. I feel like it's going to be someone like Sarah Jessica Parker or like Reese Witherspoon.
Or, I could see Reese.
What's her name? I can't think of her name.
Okay, do you want to Google it? Well, okay, go.
No, Neve Campbell.
Oh, okay. Yep, I totally see it. Totally see it. That's really cool. Yeah. No, I love that. That's good. So that's good because I love hearing that because then I kind of say, okay. And if a movie is made about your life, now we can know what to tell people. Be like,
when it's made.
Of course. Yes. Not if. It's a matter of when.
Right.
You'll be in California. Things could happen quick. It's totally true. Yes. All right. If you were given a day to yourself with an unlimited budget, what would you try to pack in? Thanks.
I mean, I know no matter what, I would be in Europe somewhere.
Nice.
So I guess that's gonna depend, because do I get like travel time, or do I just get to be wherever I want to be?
Just imagine that starting at 5 a.m. on a morning, suddenly you are transported to that wherever you want to be, and now unlimited budget. Go.
Okay, so that's tough, because I have a lot of places in Europe I want to go to. I'm not sure which one I would pick, but it would probably be either Spain, Greece, or Italy.
Nice.
But I could easily go back to Paris and just like go shopping and go like to the Four Seasons and get massaged and have amazing meals. And
oh man, let's go.
Yeah, right?
Unlimited budget.
I'm ready. I got my passport.
That's right. If you could pick one power or skill that you don't already have, what would you want to be added to your overall awesomeness?
Is this like a superpower?
It can be, or it could just be a skill. Like maybe there's something, if I just knew that would be awesome, or knew how to do something. Doesn't have to be socially related either.
I was going to say, I was struggling. I'm trying to do this lead page, and for some reason, it is not working correctly for me. I have it keeps sending out a webinar link. I know. And
well, Nikki put web design. So yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. But I personally, I wouldn't say something along those lines, because I wouldn't say lead pages, because I feel like if I want to know something, then I just learn it and do it. So I would rather have a superpower, and if I had to pick a superpower, it would be to fly.
Oh, nice. Well, see, and this would take care of the day of expenses, because you just fly straight over to Europe. Done so.
Well, and I wouldn't ever have to sit in traffic and deal with any of that. So flight would be, I want to be able to fly around. Yeah.
I think that's an excellent answer. Wonderful. Now, last fun question, and then we'll open the seat. What is your favorite, and this is not unlimited budget, so just think of your day to day. What is your favorite spoil you treat that you just, this makes my day and I feel spoiled when this happens?
It's always sushi.
Ooh, yeah. Sushi from where? Any particular place? Denver's got a lot of places.
Sushi Sasa in the Highlands.
Ooh, nice.
It's my #1 favorite sushi place in Denver. And I rank that above Sushi Den.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. I had sushi last night, so I'm feeling you. It was really good sushi. Very nice. Well, the seat is open. Also, you guys, if you still have any questions to ask, go for it. I will, if you've been interacted, which many of you have in the sidebar, open seat. Bring it in. But yeah, Erin can answer any questions you might have. You may have a question for her to ask or find out while she's at Social Media Marketing World. So this might be a really good opportunity for you. So anyone who wants to call in can, or again, type your question with a Q/ in the sidebar and we'll answer it there too. But you guys have been awesome. Erin, is there any session you're looking most forward to while you're at, or topics while you're at Social Media Marketing World?
I really like the keynotes. I feel like those are always really good. I just went through and started to determine my schedule the other day. There should be some good ones. I'm excited to hear about what's going on with BLAB. Based on, there was an article shared within our Colorado Women in Social Media group talking about BLAB and the, hi Melody, hey. Talking about BLAB and the future of BLAB, and if there will or will not be a BLAB, or it will or will not be a future for BLAB. I personally think there will be. Great. But so that'll be interesting to see them and talk with them and see what BLAB has to say for themselves.
Right. Sean's going to be there doing a keynote on it.
Yeah. Yep. He's doing a keynote with Kim Garst and Mari, I think. I think it's Mari, Kim, and Sean.
Well, that's a good lineup. Yeah, I did get Sean in one of my first BLABs because we wound up having people skate in who he wanted to talk to. I'm like, that's fine. Take it over. Let's talk about it. But that'll be beneficial. Yeah. Tell us what you learned for sure.
I will.
I'll watch you on Snapchat too. Melody, hello, darling.
Hello, can you hear me? I'm on a different mic.
Yes.
Hey.
Hear you just fine.
Well, nobody called in. I wasn't going to hog the channel and make it be all social sisters, but here we are.
Well, hey, open seat, open opportunity. I'd say
That's right.
Gated right in and it's perfect.
And from what Joel tells me every time, if there's ever an open seat on BLAB, you hop in. Always hop in because you get exposure.
Yes.
That's right.
So we have 20 people on this, or had 20 people, 45 in and out. But it helps people get to know you.
That's right. Yeah.
I agree with that. And just
go ahead.
don't worry about what you look like. Okay, go on.
No, you're right. And actually, I got on 45 seconds of same screen time with Michael Stelzner one time. I'm like, yes, because you just got to be ready to hop in.
And that's another tip is if you can, when you are on a BLAB with somebody, take a picture of it.
Oh.
So that you can use that and, other social media stuff.
Yes.
The other thing is the longer, so like I actually should have Rachel make me a host. But it doesn't really matter because since I've been on the whole time. But the longer that you're able to stay on, then you'll show up in the replay.
Yeah, you will.
Yes.
As a featured person on the BLAB.
Right.
So it's really good to be able to get that exposure.
I just snapped you all. You're so beautiful.
Oh, was I doing this because?
No, I got you right before.
That's your MO, Melody.
That was some good timing.
No, I got you in a good. Yes, it is an excellent tip. That is a really good point. Yeah, because you can prove that you were on, and that's something to say. Oh my gosh! And even if you geek out about it, you're like, yeah, I got screen time with those guys. Mm-hmm. I don't have that video, but I got that shot.
Which reminds me, I was actually on with Stelzner the other night, and I did not do that. I did not take my own advice, but I think I was on because it was a thing with Joel. So I think I was actually on long enough that I'm on there.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And Melody, you have BLABs that you do. I just want to do a little promotion here too. You let you guys promote yourselves, but yeah, what do you do on BLAB?
I have a show I do on Thursday mornings, most Thursday mornings, called Blabbing Social with Melody, and I have people on that know something about social media. Mm-hmm. And it's often my social sisters, but I do know other people outside of that do social media. So that's what we talk about, social media and marketing. And I just bring in experts, and I always learn something because you think you might know it. You can work in the field like we all do, and you don't always know every last little thing that you could know. So there's always something. And so that's what I do. Yeah, thanks. And I took most of March off. So yeah, just it happened.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Happened that way. I went with it. I rolled
well,
with it.
As Aaron said, life happens and it'll, it takes you in a direction. It's okay. It's totally fine.
It totally does.
Yep.
And I'm just going to try to come up with a really great question. And then there was somebody over here that said they wanted to come on board. I want to make sure they have that chance. I don't know who it was. Anyway, so Aaron, what's the biggest challenge you face as a woman in business, in small business? Because women sometimes face, and I know you were not expecting that.
No.
We face some challenges that might not be experienced by others.
That's a really good question.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's forewarned, Melody. I don't know that I necessarily feel like I face challenges as a woman. Like, I feel like it's more just as a business owner. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't say that it's just directly related to gender, I guess. Like my biggest challenges for being a business owner is all around the financial stuff. Because that is so not my genius zone, and I don't like doing it. In fact, I'm going to get my taxes done on Thursday, and I still I have all my stuff together from my bookkeeper, but I have not done a single thing for my personal stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, oh crap, I need to get that together. So tomorrow I blocked off time.
Yeah, you have to.
So
that's for real. That struggle is real. And
then, I mean, the only other thing for me is just time. It's
Yes.
You know, I have Nikki that helps me a ton, but it's still just a matter of time. Like I've been freaking out today because I've been like, oh, I got to do this and that and this and that and this. And
yeah, it is. It's overwhelming.
Do what you can do. And, you know, I think really for me, what I've been trying to learn to be better at is setting expectations so that I'm not telling someone that I can do this for them when I know that I really can't.
That's right. That's for sure.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're bringing in Nathan. 183 days on Blab, Nathan. That's pretty impressive.
If you say so, yeah.
I do.
Okay.
I do. Therefore, it is.
Okay. Good enough.
Well, thanks for coming on, Nathan. Do you have a question for
Hi,
Miss
Nathan.
Erin or Miss Melody or myself?
Tell you the truth, not really. I've just been listening to what's been going on, and there's so many different directions one can take, and the challenge, at least for me, is not to take too many of those directions. To keep it as simple as I possibly can.
I think that's pretty key. I know we've talked amongst ourselves on offline about how you can have too broad of a focus, and there's always that point that you try to do too many things, you're not going to do any one of those things well. And I think a lot of us struggle with that. There's so much to social media just on its own. How are we supposed to be good at everything? Well, we probably can't be, right? I mean, and I know among our group, we have people who specialize in particular platforms or, you know, maybe a handful of them versus all of them. So I think what you said is totally true.
Yeah, it's actually I wound up having a chat with somebody that I met on BLAB a while ago who told me that my focus was too broad and suggested, that I narrow down. And when he told me what I should be doing, I cringed. It's like, oh no, please don't ask me to do that. Unfortunately, the topic that he said to me that I need to focus on is something I know extremely well. And he was saying to me, you need to narrow down, go into this, which you know better than anything else, and do a deep dive into it for 2 or 3 months and use it. He said you don't have to stay with it forever, but to use it and see where it goes and see what happens, because I'm going to be interviewing celebrities about this.
Nice.
And just so you know, the topic is about bullying, and more specifically, showing people, talking to people, and saying to people, you don't have to suffer with PTSD and the effects of being bullied for the rest of your life.
Wow.
There are ways of dealing with it and dissolving the trauma. And I'm actually able to talk about it like a normal human being without getting triggered because I went through that process about 6 or 7 weeks ago, and it changed me so much that the problem was over before I even realized that the session was over. It was very fast. And since then, I'm now able to be a spokesperson in a way and just say, okay, you know, I went through this, I survived it, yes, but if you're going through this, there's another way to live. You don't have to suffer for the rest of your life.
Well, Nathan, I have to say, I'm really glad you can speak to that. I know that might be, you know, the scary prospect of focusing on that, but we were just talking about, well, it could be scary for some people where you were just talking about triggers and stuff, you know, but
it can, yeah. I mean, for those people who I would be talking to who are triggered, and it's like, the reason it came about is that this guy I was talking to is asking me about what was happening on my YouTube channel, and I said I have a couple of videos about bullying, and one of them, like neither one of them has huge numbers, but the engagement has been really high. Like one of them, 8,000 hits.
Wow.
And 96 comments.
Wow.
That's a lot of comments. And mind you, a good chunk of them are mine, but even so, at least 50 comments from other people asking questions, wanting to know stuff, and lots of people who have been deeply triggered. And I'm saying to them, hey, there's another way. And if you have this kind of session, it will dissolve in your life just like it dissolved in mine, and you won't suffer anymore.
Well, I appreciate that so much that you're sharing that. And I think that speaks to what, you know, Erin's been sharing too, and what Melody knows too, and all of us with our particular focus is that we want to do something really well, something we can speak to and help with. And I think that's great. That I think every person on this screen right now is endeavoring to do that. So I appreciate you sharing that, Nathan.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't come on with a particular question for you, but I've just been listening to what you were saying, and just it was a result of what this guy did. Like he was saying to me too, like in terms of videos, people's attention span is really short. And I've been given a video challenge by this one celebrity that I know, and this other guy who's had experience in a different way said that people's attention spans are very short. He said, unless you're doing an interview, your videos are too long. You need to cut them down between 1 to 5 minutes each.
Yeah.
So I wound up doing something like 15 videos, and none of them are longer than 5 minutes. But the one that got all the traffic was about 7 minutes. But even so,
Yeah.
So I just did that, and we'll see where it goes.
That's awesome. Well, hey, Nathan, if you want, share the link to that in the sidebar, because I'm sure we'd love to check it out. And
sure, give me a second here.
Oh, absolutely. I will pontificate on a little bit, because we are kind of coming up to the end of the hour here.
Not a problem. Give me a second here just to
absolutely go ahead. But I appreciate you guys all being on today. Seriously, this was great. Aaron, first of all, let me give mad props to you, because I know you stepped in for me too. I am going to be talking to my other guest later down the year, but like we said, life happens, right? And things happen, but this is why you're my social sister. You stepped right in and provided a fantastic guest for us. So I want to thank you for being on today and telling us all about how you got where you are, struggles, realism, favorite things, least favorite things. I think that all of us probably got to know you a little better today, and that's the whole goal, right?
Right.
Yep. I love it.
I know she wants to fly, so it's very.
I want to fly.
That changes my perception of Erin now.
Really?
I know she wants to fly.
Wait.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
I'm just teasing you. I'm teasing you. It just adds to the breadth and depth that is Erin Sell.
Well, it's better than mind control. She could have freaked us all out with that.
That's right.
All right. Well, guys, Nathan, I see you shared your link. Thank you for doing that. And I will go ahead and wrap the recording today.
I wanted to add one last thing.
Bring it.
So I just started a exclusive Facebook group. That's my permission.
Yes, you did. Share it.
Yes.
So, sorry, nose is running. Inopportune times, as Danelle would say.
That's fun.
Always. I told you I've been sick. So, so I just started a Facebook group called Social Success. I've got the link here. However, you're going to get an email that you shouldn't get that says something about a webinar. I think you still have to click subscribe to be subscribed. I don't know. I can't figure out why it is doing that.
That's okay.
But
we'll find our way there.
And I would love to have anybody that wants to join. Basically, it's just going to be a group to ask questions and provide support about social media and networking and putting yourself out there online and off, because I do both.
That's right. And that really, I think, speaks to everybody, not only in the seats here in this lab, but also in the sidebar. So that'll be an awesome resource. Thank you for sharing that, Erin. And then I will wrap up with a couple more announcements. I've got an announcement tomorrow on Twitter. We are starting a brand new Twitter chat called Let's Livestream. This is going to be on Twitter. It's not going to be on BLAB yet. So hashtag Let's Livestream if you hop on Twitter tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time, which is 1 p.m. Mountain time, where most of us in the group are. But hop on there. It's going to be open forum, but we're going to do it every week, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And we're going to chat it up about live streaming. Should be a lot of knowledge dropped. So hang out there. And then don't forget to hop on. My BLAB is every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Mountain time. And next week we're talking about what's happening in social media. There's always lots. So if you want to know about a new tool that's out or an update, oh my gosh, I want to talk about it. Twitter and the NFL Thursday night games.
I just heard that today.
I know, it's crazy. But we'll talk about that on what's happening in social media. So let's live stream. Hashtag Let's Livestream tomorrow. 1 p.m. Mountain time, and then Laugh and Learn BLAB, what's happening in social media, next Tuesday at 3 p.m. right here. Thanks for being on, guys. It's been a joy, as always. And I appreciate you being on
having
here.
me.
Thank you.